It's the 89th minute of a World Cup match. 70,000 fans are packed into a stadium. Tens of thousands more are watching from fan zones across the city. Hospitals are already busy. Ambulances are on standby. Doctors are monitoring players who have been pushing their bodies to the limit for weeks. Then suddenly a player collapses. Within seconds, medical teams spring into action. But here's what most fans don't realize. That response isn't just about one player. Behind every World Cup match is one of the largest, high-stakes, military-grade medical operations on the planet. And with the 2026 FIFA World Cup set to be the biggest in history, the pressure on cities, stadiums, and teams has never been greater. Let's take a look at what it really takes to keep the world's biggest sporting event safe. It all starts at the top. Phase 1. The cities. When people think about the World Cup, they think about football. City officials think about hospitals. The 2026 tournament will bring millions of visitors across North America. In many host cities, that means a temporary population surge that can put serious pressure on healthcare systems. Take Philadelphia. The city expects hundreds of thousands of visitors during the tournament. Local healthcare providers, including Penn Medicine, have already been involved in preparations. Hospitals are reviewing emergency response plans, assessing surge capacity, and coordinating with public safety agencies. Why? Because every additional visitor creates additional demand. More people means more accidents, more heat-related illnesses, more medical emergencies, more ambulance calls. And all of this has to be managed while continuing to provide normal healthcare services for local residents. Houston is facing a similar challenge. Officials there have approved funding for dozens of additional ambulances, specifically to support World Cup operations. Think about that for a second. An entire fleet of emergency vehicles is being added because of one sporting event. The challenge isn't simply treating football fans. The challenge is making sure that a major international tournament doesn't overwhelm the city's healthcare system. For host cities, success isn't measured by goals scored. It's measured by how well they handle the unexpected. But what happens when you bottle up 80,000 of those emotional, overheated fans into a single concrete bowl? You get Phase 2, the Stadium Fortress. Most fans see a football venue. Medical planners see a temporary city. A modern World Cup stadium can hold up to 80,000 people. That's more people than many towns, and every one of those people represents a potential medical incident. Dehydration, heat exhaustion, cardiac emergencies, falls, crowd-related injuries. The list goes on. This is why World Cup stadiums are packed with medical resources that most fans never notice. There are first aid stations throughout the venue, dedicated medical teams, ambulances positioned around the stadium, emergency command centers monitoring activity in real time, detailed evacuation plans, and constant communication with local hospitals. A great example comes from the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Medical planners created one of the most comprehensive event healthcare systems ever seen in football. Medical services were coordinated across stadiums, training sites, fan zones, hotels, and transportation hubs. The goal was simple. No matter where an incident occurred, help could arrive quickly. And it's not just the stadiums. Fan festivals can sometimes create an even bigger challenge. Many host cities will operate large public viewing areas where tens of thousands of people gather to watch matches on giant screens. No ticket required, just huge crowds. Which means medical planners have to create mini healthcare systems there too. Medical tents, hydration stations, emergency response teams. Because from a healthcare perspective, a fan zone isn't much different from a packed stadium. The risk doesn't disappear just because the match is being watched on a screen, but the highest stake zone is the pitch itself. Phase 3, the teams. Now let's talk about the players. Because while fans are focused on goals and trophies, medical teams are focused on survival. The modern World Cup is incredibly demanding. Players travel between cities, train almost every day, recover from intense matches, and then do it all over again. For team doctors, the tournament never stops. They're monitoring injuries, tracking hydration levels, managing recovery sessions, treating muscle strains, watching for signs of fatigue, and making sure players are physically ready for the next match. A single injury can change the outcome of an entire tournament. Just ask any nation that has lost a star player at the wrong moment. But injuries aren't the only concern. Travel fatigue, heat, and lack of recovery can affect performance. Even minor illnesses can become major problems when matches are only days apart. That's why national teams travel with entire medical staffs. Doctors, physiotherapists, sports scientists, recovery specialists, nutrition experts. Their job isn't just to treat injuries, it's to prevent them from happening in the first place. And during a month-long tournament, that can be the difference between lifting the trophy and flying home early. When fans watch the World Cup, they see 90 minutes of football. What they don't see is the invisible network working behind the scenes. The hospital preparing for a surge in patients, the ambulance crews waiting outside the stadium, the doctors monitoring players, the emergency planners running simulations months before kickoff, the public health experts tracking potential risks, the nurses, paramedics, and healthcare workers standing by in case something goes wrong. The 2026 FIFA World Cup will be remembered for goals, celebrations, and unforgettable moments. But none of those moments happen without the people responsible for keeping millions of fans and thousands of athletes safe. Because while the players compete for the trophy, an entire medical system is working around the clock to make sure the tournament can happen at all. And that's the hidden pressure of the World Cup. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more science and health explainers. And stay informed, stay safe.